A reoccurring dream of me as a fighter in another time and another place, with a sword in hand. I was standing my ground against my enemies that wanted to hurt the people I love. Suddenly an arrow strikes my chest. And I took the final breath before I fall down and die. We've shaped off, so it's not too sharp. I got stabbed in the face with a sword. I had my two bottom teeth knocked out with a spear. I've had a battle axe to the head, split my head open. I've got a scar on the inner thigh, broken my nose, broken fingers. Well, the battle is the biggest medieval battle in Britain and the biggest reenactment battle of Tewkesbury. I'll be fighting people I fought beside abroad in foreign battles.
The sound of swords clanging together is music to their ears. The heat of a metal armor is a fresh summer breeze to their skin. We will explore the world of battle reenactors who honor their heritage and bring decisive battles back to life. Tosha is a battle reenactor who is taking part in the biggest annual national reenactment battle of Tewkesbury.
Sometimes you might kill your own side back knowing it, you know, because confusion of battle, when you've got a full visored helm and knowing that I'm going to struggle to breathe, I'm going to be hot, tired.
The Battle of Tewkesbury took place in 1471 between the House of Lancaster, led by the Duke of Somerset, and the House of York, led by King Edward IV. It is an important event for reenactors, with over 1,500 participants performing for the audience.
The battle deserves to be reenacted because it's a very decisive victory. A lot of medieval battles aren't terribly decisive, commanders get away, but Tewkesbury really is a very decisive victory. Queen Margaret and Prince Edward, so that's Henry VI's son, land in Devon. That's why they're at Tewkesbury. Margaret is hoping to cross the River Severn into Wales. Edward's sort of cut her off to stop her. The two armies lined up with the Lancastrians on the northern side. Both sides were arranged into three main sort of divisions. On the Lancastrian side, Lord Wenlock and the Lancastrian Prince Edward were in the centre. With the Yorkists, Edward IV had the central division. But Tewkesbury really is a very decisive victory. The Lancastrian Prince Edward is killed on the battlefield, combined with the death of his father a couple of weeks later. That ends the Lancastrian dynasty.
Festival programmes, read all about it, who's killing who.
I'm always worried that I'm not looking right as well for the public, because it's all imagery. Everyone wants to see a typical what they see in films and TV. I'm always worried that if I've accidentally hurt someone. My adrenaline's kicking off because you just don't know if the accidents are going to happen. And in fact, the fight with my brothers is a great feeling of companionship, just knowing we've got each other's backs. The entertainment of the public's the biggest part. Make sure I'm going to give them everything they've come here, travelled all the way for. I've shared more with you.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Jacob. Right, who wants to be Matt's shadow? When they're marching to the field on battle, and all these hairy, smelly, scary men ranting and raving at you, calling you into battle, combat, battle drums in the distance, the adrenaline's starting to pump. Anything can happen. A lot of people to hit, and a lot of people hitting me. Good adrenaline rush on that.
Battle Re-enactors are described to be modern-day escapists. When Tosha is not a weekend warrior, he is a self-employed gardener. Whereas gardening requires a level of patience and care, the role of a fighter demands him to be alert and aggressive. However, Tosha considers the two very similar, as they are both physically intense.
There's not much of a difference in me here than when I'm doing reenactment, apart from acting as I'm in that period. So sometimes I've got to try and pull away from 21st century and try and feel like if I'm walking around thinking I've just worrying about the crops that I've grown, because I might be doing farming, I've been called to war. My mindset's always the same. I love the physical part of things. So being a gardener and physically working, and then working on set or reenactment, I'm doing the same thing. I'm very physical and just enjoy giving everything I've got. There's no middle ground for me. I'm all or nothing. Gardening, I'm creating life, and it's the same with my reenactment. When I'm in that person as a warrior, it's taking life. Yeah, there is a calling in me to want me to be that, being a warrior. I'm feeling from the heart that there's something missing in this day and age of what I am, because I struggle in this life to understand these petty little things about, earning money and not trading by trade.
There are many types of reenactment societies, such as combat reenactment, battle reenactment, and living history, which depicts the lifestyle that people used to practice in the past. According to Historic UK, there are over 130 reenactments and living history societies in the UK, specializing in different time periods. But what makes them want to do that? Are they just modern-day escapists or authentic historic performers?
We are a medieval reenactment society covering 800 AD up to 1500 AD. We all do our research and we study, for example, the series of 14th century sword fighting manuals that have survived from that era. But of course although we're fighting, we're trying as hard as we can to avoid hurting each other. We all have to go to work on Monday, so we can't be as realistic as maybe we'd like to with steel swords. We know exactly where each strike is going to come, and it helps us with blocking as well. There's a real technique to proper sword fighting, especially against someone in armour, but there are only certain parts that you can actually hit and do damage. So each strike is essentially a planned and well manoeuvred one.
So the head strike's the same.
Hugh and Joe doing an awful lot of that.
So when it comes normal head strike's that, and then when it's meeting, and then your wrist goes back in and then under. Yeah? See what I mean? You've got all that nice fluidity. As a reenactor, I feel like I've entertained the crowd. If I'm not aching, if I haven't torn every fibre of muscle in my body and hurting from doing the best I can do, I feel like I let the crowd down. Because that's what they come to see. Pay to see us or come for charity for free to see us, that we've gone, here you go. You've come all this way to get what you're looking for and what you wanted to see. Right.
Female warriors were not very common in history, but Nikki is one of the few female battle reenactors who insist on taking up her sword in a world dominated by men.
Exact same for the leg. So if I go for the leg and across, up, yeah, then slide.
I concentrate more on defence than attacking, just because I'm more worried about protecting myself than actually defeating the other person.
When you're doing the training, it's quite sometimes hypnotising. You can just kind of get lost just watching your opponent to see what their next move's going to be. Yeah, just getting lost in it really. When I go up against any of the guys, they're obviously going to have the strength over me. I'm a lot lighter and I tend to wear less armour, so I can kind of run around them more and they're going to get worn out quicker. So if I can get decent shots in, they're going to tire very, very quickly and I'll just be able to run rings around them basically.
Reenactors put authentic kit together, which is the collection of clothing and accessories for the chosen historical character. Owning these items requires research as well as great financial expense.
My suit of armour, that cost £800. A hand and a half sword, that's £250. A single sword, that's £130. My cloth kit, £200. It is a very expensive hobby. All that kit costs thousands of pounds. Wow. And then repairing it and buying new bits when they break, dent, all sorts of things, tears.
Although it seems like a fun hobby, the level of danger and risk involved is still high and injuries are common.
Like when I got stabbed in the face here in the spear, a couple inches down had been my throat, it could have killed me. And they were close enough to that point. With me, I think, because my dream, I'm always reliving that dream. I'm always fighting in my head. I'm always learning techniques and fighting and surviving, but I think that instinctive battle in my head and in my body is instinctive to allow me to see something coming, feeling that energy difference of pull between a blade and flesh. You feel it coming more than you see it. So I'm willing to take it in places where there's solid bone structure or something's not going to fatally kill me. You've got to go into that like sixth sense of there's more to it than what you see, smell, taste and hear. There's an energy, there's a feeling. It's like, here we are, drinking on.
These reenactors just showed us how to fight, think and act like a warrior. Now, after a long day of battling, it's time for the warriors to celebrate their hard-earned victory.
I want to die fighting in what I believe in and doing what I believe in. I don't want to die of old age and quietly in the bed. If I don't die in battle, then yes. I don't want to die of any other way. I'm a bit of a coward that way. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to wield a sword strongly as I get older, and I won't be able to run into battle before everyone else and jump into a shield wall. But I'll hobble over, you know, I'll crawl, I'll get someone to carry me. I won't stop. I can't stop. Because as soon as I stop doing that, my body will just give up on me. There'll be no spirit in life in me anymore.